Out there for irishboxing.com with Padraig McCrory just ahead of the Belfast Brawl press conference. Before we get into that, just to ask about yourself and where you're at. Like, I know there was talk of coming back in on August the 3rd and different fights, but like, can you fill us in as where you're at?
Yeah, so it's still potentially going to happen
On August
3rd. Yeah. I just met with Jimmy Conlan there and we discussed a few different options, and if I go August 3rd, what are we looking in terms of opponents, and if I don't, what's going to follow that. Ideally, I would like to go out on August 3rd. I want to test myself in a decent fight first to see where I'm at.
Yeah.
Before then again, they rolling the dice against one of the big names in the division. Jimmy's had conversations about different names in the division about fighting later in the year. And there's still options there. It's good to get back in a decent routine, getting back to training, getting back to the gym with the lads. Conor Quinn is fighting in his biggest fight to date for the Commonwealth title in a few weeks. So there's good blood in the gym, and the next generation is coming through, and I'm always going to back them anyway. I've got 3 lads on the same day as well, but on myself and on my own career, we're still here. We're still we haven't gone away. I've had a few deep conversations with myself as well, but I feel like I still got more to give. I've only been pro 7 years, 19 fights. I've probably only been in 2 or 3 really hard fights, low mileage, and I feel like I still have more to give.
And how close were you to going? Like, how close?
So I definitely weighed up the pros and cons of boxing.
Yeah.
And what I can get from it and what I can give to it. I never really thought I was going to retire, but it was a question that I needed to ask myself.
Okay.
If it's like what I wanted, but I never really openly spoke about it. I joke with a few short outlets just to spread rumor, but I don't think I was ever close to it.
No. And then, there's no chance that the August 3rd is just like a big fight send off or anything like that. Like, no. There is bigger plans. Like,
I was hoping to get Luke Taylor on that date, and unfortunately he wouldn't have been ready. It wasn't a question of he didn't want to fight. It's just his body wouldn't let him at that stage. I think it's probably, if he doesn't stop, it's something that we can look at again later in the year. As I was saying, there's a plan in place. There's a contingency plan as well.
Can you give us names on them? Just even or even ballpark figure of what type of are we talking like good British names or world names?
Well, there's been 1 or 2 decent British names.
Okay.
I spoke about. I think we're here today, and it's Queensberry, so
yeah.
I don't think you have to look much further there. I think potentially fights with like a Zach Potter down the line.
Yeah.
It makes sense as well. But I want to see where I'm at physically and mentally first, and August 3rd in a decent test would be the ideal scenario for me.
Right. And August 3rd, you've got, just to run through some of your fighters on the, like you've like O'Neill and Moran's a great fight, isn't it?
Cracking fight, and in fairness, it's a fight that Dan Anderson had mentioned to me when on a first man to him, so it's a great fight. Moran's coming off of defeat, but a very good fighter. I spent a bit of time with him like previously a few years back. Great guy as well, and a great fight. I think it's a real 50-50. It's at the welterweight, so one has to prove himself. He has to show people that's where he is, and he wants to be a welterweight fighter.
And as a manager, you're all right with straight into 50-50 and putting that little bit of pressure on him, like if.
Well, he had a fight in September, but he's 13 or 14 fights like in his career. It's time for that, and he's been calling for it like for a while. It's what he's wanted. Yeah.
And what about the Hughes fight? That's another cracker as well.
Yeah. I've been speaking with Jared. I speak with Jared like nearly every day, and I know he's coming from him and Pete and his team. He's in a good headspace. He's sparring well. He sparred yesterday against Miles Casey. He's going to, from what I hear, he's going to be sparring Katie as well next week. I think she's coming home. And they feel like they have the right tactics and the right game plan to get the win.
Is that what will that make the difference? All the differences?
Yeah, listen, Pete's a world class coach, and he's enjoying his time with Pete. And stylistically, it could be what he needs. Every coach has their strengths and their weaknesses, and Pete could be the right guy for him.
And then, like, your stable's grown if you want to run through the other fighters.
Yeah, I have Theo Wallen as well, who's going to be making his debut. I watched him in the Ulster Elite final recently. He's always been known to be a big puncher. He's going to be doing a super featherweight. I think he's going to be. He's now 28, so.
1 2 testing 1
like
2.
me, it's going to be getting him at 4 and then stepping him up and seeing like what he wants from the game and seeing where he's going to go. If he looks good and he does good tickets on August 3rd, it's going to stand down for future Conlan Boxing shows.
Lovely. And just on yourself, are you enjoying the management? Like, do you like this talking about other people rather than yourself?
Yeah. No, either way, on August 3rd, I'm going to be there, and whether it be as a fighter or as a manager,
Or both.
Or both. But it's a good place to be. My relationship with Conlan Boxing and Jamie and Mick stands by me because I have 3 fighters on the show, and 2 of them's in really big fights. And Theo starting his career, and I have to be thankful for that. Obviously, after that, I need to start creating more links and getting to know more people in the UK for more opportunities. But no, things are good.
Lovely. I appreciate your time, buddy. Thanks, man.